Greetings, folks, on a Monday, the 24th of March. Got my coffee in hand, feeling pretty regular. I'm glad after running in and out of doors Saturday night, loading in and loading out. No problems with any cold symptoms, thank goodness. Cheers. Folks have been pretty quiet about the nation because there's nothing I can do, and when I turn on the news, it's just insane. I don't really know how I'm supposed to think that good things are happening when I turn on and I hear that they're trying to cut everything, Social Security, Department of Education, but there's no talk of what instead would be done. It's a nightmare to me. It's a nightmare. So nothing I can do about it. I can protest, but that protesting doesn't affect the money. Not the way we want it to, unless we can get really some large scale things going. And I think people are trying to do that. And I applaud it because the direction that things are going is pretty bad for the average person. So that's why, frankly, that's why I'm not interested in traveling and going anywhere. I don't have large amounts of money to spend on travel and leisure. So I don't really want to go anywhere because I can't really afford it. And then, like I've said in the past, the only things I really want to do would cost money. So I just stay here and make music and listen to music. Which brings up, I wake up this morning and I've been asked to play again. I have another gig now on April 26th with Stacy Bareilles, the toy pianist, and Kyle. I love it. And this is the way I like things to happen. I'm well past the point of doing a lot of setting up gigs. I know how to do it. And I know that I could fill my calendar. But it's a lot of work and it's a grind. It is. My back is sore from loading in and out the other night. And I know how to lift stuff when I use a dolly and stuff, but still, But I'm pleased. That's the way I like it. I like it. I like to know that you want to hear me play. Great. Yes. Thank you. So I have another gig. I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4 gigs coming up. Nice. Cheers. Haven't heard anything about the audio clip. They'll probably forget and not send it to me, and it's no big deal. Improvisation, music is in the air. And the fun thing about records and recordings is that we're able to capture things and revisit them. But really, it's the moment that it happens that's the most important, isn't it? So, what do I have to share? I do have some listens to share, mostly on CD. I think I have one LP that I've played, and I don't want to get away from showing vinyl, but I've been enjoying sharing with you what I'm listening to. So with that, let's go there. Here I have, is this the first Jostaberry? I really don't know. It's called Greener Grass. This is the first thing I heard by Jostaberry. I haven't met this person, but I feel like we're simpatico. Fred Church is involved here, yep. And he's someone I've spoken to online. I think we did a Zoom. This is really interesting and good. I'm fascinated by Jostaberry's multi-instrumental abilities, but his chords, he keeps things moving chordally. It's like he obviously knows music theory, or at least understands chords really well. I don't get the singing. The words seem absurd, and then they'll seem like they're talking about something, and then it just goes, and it's like all the singing, it seems like the singing is directly connected with the shape of the melodies and the chords, which I think are wonderful. I think this is really quite good. R. Stevie Moore and Todd Rundgren are references for their eclectic output and myriad sounds that they make. This is quite good. Greener Grass by Jostaberry. He has a one after this, which I tried to play. My what I've done is I've put my best CD player back in the bedroom, and I've taken out of mothballs. I have a CD recorder, an old Philips CD recorder back in the early days, and so it's really meant to burn, to burn in real time. You recording stuff onto CD, but I'm using it as a player. It's a little finicky as far as playing stuff, so it wouldn't play the other discs. So I played this. This is really good. Jostaberry. Recommended. Now I have this. Okay. It's in the other room. It's going to show the album. I've shown it before. To me, this is just one of the best examples of cosmic psychedelic music out of Germany that I can think of. This is fantastic. I had to play part of this twice last night. It's like these people were way ahead of the times. Dom, Edge of Time. You will meet me there at the edge of time. This is extraordinary. It's acid soaked in the best possible way. This is so LSD drenched, but it's like a real good trip. And the thing the mind expansion that you hope for when you do psychedelics, they've done an amazing job of capturing it in sound on this. This is really wonderful. And I love the use of musique concrète. I suppose I should just say that. I've always liked sound and noises, musique concrète. I love it. And they use it well on here. Track 2 on this, with the organ, the way it starts. Silence. It's killer. If you've never heard this, this is some of the best German cosmic psychedelic music I can think of. It's an utter classic. I do have it on vinyl. Dom, Edge of Time. So here's a night listen, and it was a wonderful one. It starts off with a spoken word story, which, let me see if there's any quick reference I can make to it here in the book. Yeah, there's some poems. Anyway, get back to showing you what I was listening to. Harold Budd by the Dawn's Early Light. Harold Budd was an interesting musician, pianist, composer, who played across genres. I mean, he's got an album that Marion Brown, the jazz saxophonist, recorded some Harold Budd tunes. And then the album he made with the Cocteau Twins, and there's other stuff that I don't even know about. Moody, melancholic, beautiful, introspective piano playing. As I listened last night, the tension release aspect of writing is real apparent in Harold Budd's work. He will play chords, like he'll set a ground, and then he'll take it, but not where you expect it to go quarterly, and it's more kind of blue in a melancholy way, the way that it shifts. It's not necessarily happy, it's thoughtful. Really good. Harold Budd is really good. I have several of his albums. I just chose this one to listen to last night. It was wonderful. Harold Budd. Absolutely wonderful. You'll hear it in the background, but I'm going to turn on my heater. That's something new for me with my old self. A heater with a remote. When I opened the package and it fell out, I said, yeah, I've been behind the times for a while. I was using that radiator for years, and I'd actually bought more than one because I'd wear them out, but I liked them so much. Yeah, folks, I'm pleased that people still appreciate what I do and want to see me play. I'm very happy about that. Okay, didn't get to this, but I'll show it because this is a good night listen as well as any other time. Ashra, New Age of Earth, a Manuel Gottsching feature. And I do like this. I have this on vinyl as well. I quite like this one. If you know Ashra, you know what I'm talking about. Wonderful. Here's one. It wasn't a night listen. I thought it would be, but I played it in here to see. And I'm glad it could be a night listen, but this is released on the Project label. A label I think out of the Southwest, mostly associated with goth music. But this is Ascension. Walk Softly, a Dream Lies Here. My friend Randy Lemasters, who released Digital Sex remastered on CD and My World is Burning CDs, he turned me onto this. He's a big music lover. And this is good. This is good atmospheric it's moving in the area of shoegaze. Some of the vocals are a little sketched it's like I'm just really aware of tonality and intonation. And when people slide around hitting a note, I can't help but notice it. It takes away from the beauty. When, like the Smiths, for example, Morrissey, there are several songs where he is everywhere but on the note, which is crazy because when he hits the note, man, it's gorgeous. But there are several songs where Morrissey is out of tune. I always notice. But musically, this was not quite Cocteau Twins, but kind of in that area. Musically, this is very strong. This Ascension, Walk Softly, a Dream Lies There. Yes, I would recommend this. I recommend this. So years ago, I talk about when homers would have these sidewalk sales and just purge all these CDs. I remember picking up a bunch of records associated with Bill Laswell, which apparently didn't sell worth a damn here in Omaha. So here's another one that I listened to all the way through yesterday evening and enjoyed it. Automaton Jihad, Points of Order. This is another Bill Laswell production. I like this all black case that it comes in. This is cool. It's all black. That's kind of cool. And this is 2 long jams. That's what they are. They are jams. You can call them improvisations, but these are more like jams because they set up the atmosphere. It's Eastern oriented, as the word jihad kind of tips you off. Some of the sound sources are obviously something in the East. Maybe a call to prayer is what you hear. And then gradually it moves into, okay, I'm doing 2 things at once. There we go. But gradually it moves into this bass groove that I love Bill Laswell's bass sound is very distinct. I almost always can tell when it's Bill Laswell on bass. He got big sound out of the bass, and he has a real grounded approach to how he plays. It's close to reggae. It's close to the way that I was taught how to play reggae bass, which is real straight. You don't play sexy on the bass for reggae. You play it straight. You're the earth. With the drums, you're the foundation that everything else happens on top of. And that's kind of how I hear Bill Laswell's approach to bass playing. Real straight ahead, solid groove. I mean, you could really good. So this was enjoyable. And I listened to the whole way, 2 20-minute tracks that just weave and flow. And they have a groove to them. These are like, I have these, so that's one thing about time. I'll spend so much time doing things that my shelves of CDs, even the records, will sit for a long period. And then I'll come back to it and it's like, well, that time period is gone. And these are some examples where it's like, I hardly remember these, but now I do. Earl Brutus. Some raucous stuff. This strikes me as, I don't exactly know what their deal was, but there's a glam rock aspect to the big stomping beats on some of these tracks. This one is Larky and a Teenage Opera. Nothing special, but I just enjoyed it, and it was like, okay, I remember. I do like rock music. Don't listen to a lot of it these days, but I still have these 2 Earl Brutus singles, and I said, I have 2 of them. Okay, I need to reconnect with this. I couldn't remember it at all. And both of these remind me of the Sweet a little bit, musically. Earl Brutus. This one is Life's Too Long. Some of you folks watching who do know about Earl Brutus, maybe you want to tell me a little bit of something about this band or this outfit. But it was like, just like with the Granddaddy the other day, it's like I'll look out there and I say, I don't even remember what, I remember this, but it was like I couldn't remember what it sounded like. And I do like it. But time shifts, and there's certain things like, a while back I showed a dream pop band that was on Creation, Adorable. I've definitely grown out of that. Some of that stuff is like it's nostalgia listen rather than really something in real time I'm getting into. Here's another one, frankly, that Randy Lemasters turned me on to. This is good. Auburn Lull, Cast from the Platform. More of that atmospheric, dreamy kind of pop shoegaze sound. I love stuff like this. And there's a ton of music like this in the world that, unless you either happen to be in proximity and find out about them, you'll never hear it. Like everyone knows about Slowdive now. I mean, they're a big band now, and deservedly so. But there's just as much on that level, and some of it even better, excuse me, than the stuff you hear about. This is quite good. Auburn Lull, Cast from the Platform. I love telling you about these records, people, because I have actually increased in recent times the amount of time I spend peeping at other people's vinyl community videos, looking at what people show and how people present. And there are a lot of interesting collections going around, as well as the same old shit, where it's like, again, you're going to talk about Fleetwood Mac again. Here's an album that got played yesterday. It's just a pull, slap. I think it's the first album. I think it's mainly this one guy. Electronic samples, field recordings, really well done. Yeah, Stefan Nestor using Oberheim DMX, Roland JX 3P. Even shows here that he uses the television as a sound source. Good stuff. This is good. This doesn't even sound aged at all. Like, this is 1984. To my ears, this is like, for the most part, could be made at any time. Quite good. Slap. I have another album of his, Pratique. So really, that's already 20 minutes, and that's enough for today. It's always, hello family. Always hoping for good news from all of you out there. That's about it. I'm keeping things real simple. And trying to enjoy that simplicity, that simple approach to life. As I said earlier in this video, when I think about things that I thought that I wanted, like some people are always wanting more, this, more, that. In many ways, I am quite satisfied with my life the way it is. I'm glad that I was never fooled by money and material things. This collection is about the music. It's not about possessing, although it is, if you catch what I'm saying. So I'm just saying that it's just a little daily things that bring me a lot of peace of mind and happiness. The fact that I get up and Kyle has asked me, do you want to play again with me and Stacy? I love it. It's a simple little act. Brightened the morning immensely. The fact that they paid me, I wasn't expecting, honestly, because I know that Project with their noise concerts, it's there's no set, if you want to pay. A lot of people don't. But they gave me all the money that they collected, paid for my new heater. It's wonderful. It's just very gratifying. And so I'm thankful for my outlook on life. I'm glad to be who I am. And I just have to stay disconnected from the larger picture for the most part, because I can't stop it. Or what's happening to our country, our government, these criminals are just destroying everything. There's nothing I can do except protest. But it hurts my heart to see this happening in my lifetime. I hope that I wouldn't see such destruction and insanity in my lifetime, but here it is. And it just goes on. That's what's insane to me, is the more it goes on, the more normal it seems to the overall situation, and so more madness and more bad things happen. It's frustrating. So I just retreat into my music. Last thing I'll share is I started working on loading up my laptop with potential things to play for my show at Grapefruit. I'm looking forward to that. And I don't think I'll be using visuals. I won't do the DHX thing with Aaron Gum. I'll just present the music because I've been wanting to do that for a long time. And so that's what I did yesterday. I'll probably load up a bigger program longer than I'll be able to present. That way I can choose rather than having it. I'm not really into set lists. I never have been. Even though in the early days of bar bands, you have to have set lists, and I was into it then, so you know what you're doing. But starting with Digital Sex, even though we had set lists, I didn't care about set lists. It's like, well, what do you feel like playing next? What next? And I kind of like that, is to go on the vibe of what's happening at the moment, because the next song could change. Personally, I like it when that happens, when I see bands and they are in the moment and they say, no, we're going to do this instead. I love when I see that happen. So that's what's up, folks. Have a good Monday.